This is Shannon Rutherford. This is the Town Plan and Zoning Commission meeting. And we will do roll call of the commission members. Robert Canto,
Here.
Patrick Carrier,
Here.
David St. Germain,
Here.
Liz Sanford.
Here.
And I'll note for the record that Matthew Bandel, regular member, is absent this evening. And then our alternates, we've got Bruce Polsky,
Here.
Mike Tucci.
Here.
And Kyla Zimmerman. I am not seeing at the moment online, so we'll note Kyla is absent for now. Okay, Mr. Chair, it's all yours.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the February 22nd Plan and Zoning Commission meeting. No public hearings, so Liz, you're off the hook on legal notice tonight. We do have a whole series of new business and some applications to accept. And we'll start with that. So first one is Carrier Holding LLC, Dominique's Court and 114 Red Oak Hill Road.
Yep, I'll be recusing myself. And do I need to leave for this one? I would.
At least why don't you
Yeah.
just go ahead and step off if you don't mind? Thank you.
So actually Bruce and Mike, I'm going to ask if you're comfortable filling in as voting members for Matt and Patrick.
Yes.
Okay, and I had let the attorney know that they didn't need to
Yeah.
be here in person this evening. So this is the second extension. This is the 8-lot subdivision in the R30 zone. It was located at 7 Coppermine Road, aka Dominique's Court, and 114 Red Oak Hill Road. It had been originally approved by the Plan and Zoning Commission on June 12th, 2023, and then had a 90-day extension granted in the fall. This is the second 90-day extension to finalize some paperwork with the town. And they also needed some additional time to coordinate with Connecticut Water regarding water service for the property. The staff is in receipt of final plans and documents. I see no reason why this won't be finished within the time frame of the second 90-day extension.
All right. So anybody have, I don't think we have to go one by one. Does anybody have any questions for Shannon?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready for a motion in a second then.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept or approve.
Approve.
Approve Carrier Holding LLC's request for a 90-day extension of the time for filing for subdivision Mylar. Second request for Dominique's Court and 114 Red Oak Hill Road.
Second.
Thank you. Everybody clear what we're voting for? Ready to go? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Patrick, we're gonna wait too.
I know.
Like 30 seconds.
It took a while.
It's actually cold.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
All right, so now we've got a whole series of applications to accept. So Bruce, are you okay being a voting member for items 2, 3, and 4?
I am.
Okay, and then Mike, I'll ask you to do 5, 6, and 7, filling in for Matt. All right, so the first one is Bradley Finocchio, 8456 Main Street. Can we get a motion in a second, please?
Sure. I'll make the motion to accept the application by Bradley Finocchio for property located at 8456 Main Street for special permit to construct a new home and pool in Ridgeline Protection Area and expanded home in excess of 4,000 square feet of living area and 5,000 square feet of total area, not to exceed 7,200 square feet in total in an R40 zone. And scheduled a public hearing for a schedule a public hearing for the date of March 25th, 2024.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, number 3, EBM Pabst Inc., 110 Hyde Road. Can we get a motion in a second, please?
Sure, I'll make the motion like to make a motion to accept the application by EBM Pabst Inc. at 100-110 Hyde Road for a special permit and site plan approval for addition to building and related site improvements in a CR/C1 zone, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of March 25th, 2024.
The second, please.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, moving right along. Number 4, Town of Farmington, 14 Westwoods Drive. Motion and a second, please.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the application by the town of Farmington for 14 Westwoods Drive for special permit and site plan approval to install a splash pad, pickleball courts, and accessory building, house equipment, restrooms with splash pad and pickleball courts in an R40 zone, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of March 25th, 2024.
And second,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, moving along to number 5. Farmington Town Plan and Zoning Commission accept application for amendment to the zoning regs to comply with PA 23-142. Get a motion and a second, please.
okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the application by the Farmington Town Plan and Zoning Commission for an amendment to the zoning regulations to comply with PA 23-142 regarding family and group childcare, home and daycare center, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of March 25th, 2024.
Second.
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, number 6, Jack Kemper, 16 White Oak Road. Motion and a second, please.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the application by Jack Kemper for property located at 16 White Oak Road for special permit for expansion of home in Ridgeline Protection Area, R80 zone, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of April 8th, 2024.
Second,
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And our last new business application is Jennifer Villa, 303 and 8487 Meadow Road. Motion a second, please.
okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept the application by Jennifer Avila of 303 and 8487 Meadow Road for a special permit for event permit, Music on the Farm Summer Music Series in an R40 CR zone, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of April 8, 2024.
All right,
Second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. All right, Shannon, planners report.
Okay, there's a few planners report items. The first item is with respect to 1684 Farmington Avenue. It is the former location of the Best Cleaners or Baddison Cleaners on Farmington Avenue. Next to the jewelry store, it's kind of tucked in mid-block on Farmington Ave. It had been a Cleaners, and now they are looking to repurpose it as Best Cleaners as a laundromat. So up on the screen is the footprint of the laundromat. There's no change to the building footprint. There's no change to the driveway access. There's no change to the parking. I've discussed at length with the property owner and the proposed tenant with respect to parking and the limitations of parking. The tenant already has a laundromat in New Britain and is well acquainted with number of washers and dryer versus the occupancy, and feels very confident that the parking that's provided at the property will be sufficient to work with the washer and dryer layout that you're seeing here. You can see the quantities of the washer and dryer are shown on the table on the left-hand side. So there's 15 washers and 20 dryers. So they may do some exterior lighting. In which case, then there'll be an application or at least a site lighting plan to come into me, and if needed, it'll come to you folks. Obviously, there'll be a sign change. We'll probably handle that under planner's report unless there's some notable change. They were originally looking for hours of operation from 6 to 11. I said that probably won't work, given the neighborhood and the immediate neighbors adjacent and across the street. So we discussed 7 AM to 9 PM. Seemed more reasonable, given the location. And it would be 7 days a week, but even with that, it's not necessarily noisy. For me, it was more the lights and the traffic and the coming and going of people. It will be partially manned or tended with an attendant. And during off hours, there will be a phone number to call if there's an issue with a machine or whatever. Apparently, that's standard practice and works well at other locations. So that's what they're looking to do. Again, if there's any lighting or signage change, then that would come back in this type of form for you folks to take a look at, and then if needed, come in officially for a permit. But we were looking at this as a similar use, dry cleaner versus laundry facility. Granted, somebody coming is staying longer than as opposed to just dropping off dry cleaning. But the overall nature of the business doesn't change, and we looked at it as pretty much a like for like, and there's no exterior changes. So if you're agreeable, I'll let them know they can proceed to building permit. Obviously, if there's concerns, I'm happy to answer questions, and or I believe the tenant that's looking to operate is online if there's a question. But other than that, I think we intend to go ahead unless there's questions or concerns by the commission.
I do have one question. It makes a ton of sense. But how about water usage? Is that gonna be, I am not familiar with the dry cleaning business, so I don't know, but 15 or 20 washer or 15 washers, that's,
So that would be directly with CT Water. So that
Okay.
demand and the ability to facilitate that demand would be with Connecticut Water.
okay.
Yep.
So they would, CT Water would either have to sign off or come to an agreement about costs and,
Correct. If there's
Okay.
an upgrade to the service, if there's an upgrade service needed, then that would be coordinated with CT Water.
okay.
Jan, I may have missed it. Did you say, are there set hours for it or is it a?
Correct. So 7 to 9 is what we had discussed. So
Okay.
7 to 9, 7 AM to 9 PM, 7 days a week.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's good that they're repurposing that building already in my opinion.
Sure. And, oh, no, go ahead.
You said you talked to him at length about parking. I don't remember what that parking lot looks like. Is there like a backup
Small,
plan?
yeah,
Um,
small.
there's
No.
not, it is small. There's not a good backup plan.
There's like businesses behind it.
Right,
Yeah,
there's a
there's like a nail
salon in the
salon
back,
there, yeah.
and so,
But it's owned by a separate entity.
Right.
oh,
It's not the same, it's not the same property owner.
oh,
All right, so we'll see if our interactive GIS hasn't been working. If it doesn't pop up, then I will have to. All right, look at that.
Look at
The moon's aligned. Bruce left this evening telling me I broke the GIS.
that.
I'll have to take credit for fixing it then.
Not
too.
anyone home
there you
yet.
go. Just needed a little break.
Right. Just needed a little break. So here's the location of 1684 on the screen here, and it's kind of centered to the screen. And so the Farmington Jewelers is here to the right, and then behind is there's a nail salon and hair salon, I
Yep.
think, in this building back. So this has a shared access drive back here. I don't believe they use this residential drive
No.
for access, but there's a shared access drive through here. But they are two distinctly separate properties and distinctly separate owners.
Mm.
And that-
So there isn't. So really the parking capacity is going to drive the ability for customers to come in and use the facilities and again, that was discussed in detail with the future tenant. I've spoken with both her and the landowner.
And it's highly unlikely that somebody's gonna park on Route 4 and, you know.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
good. And it doesn't,
Drive
that,
out
that'll
back
come
and
to
have
an
hours.
end.
Lived here for a while,
Right,
yeah.
and I know.
That'll come to an end
Yeah,
quickly.
he's got a fence.
That's not, yeah, that's not gonna happen. And again, the tenant on the other side, there's a fence separating 1680 to 1684, so that makes it cumbersome for somebody to try to sneak in there.
Right.
And then this parking is, again, if you're doing laundry and schlepping a
Yeah,
laundry
going all the way
basket,
back there is not convenient, yeah.
that's difficult as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So,
I was gonna
Correct.
say, just from personal experience, I used the laundromat down in Bristol on Route 6 to
Mhm.
wash some
Large.
slip covers.
sure, yeah.
And I was the only person in there who stayed longer than the run in, throw it in, leave.
Got it.
Really?
To go run a different errand or something.
Right,
Yeah.
everyone kind of comes in, dumps it, leaves, you know, they might stay for the dryer if they need to do a little extra, but I was very surprised how
Okay,
kind of quiet it was.
yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I know we did that in college. I don't know that I
Yeah,
do that here.
That's
It's
my.
been a
How
while.
does that work? You
That's
find
a
your
whole nother
clothes on
different-
the floor or
Yeah,
something? or-
exactly.
I don't, yeah,
was
Insurance
very-
going.
People were
Yeah,
very
sure.
kind, but there was lots to choose from, so, you know.
interesting.
Hmm.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner St. Germain has his hand raised, so,
Okay,
yep. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea too. I'm just wondering though, is there accessible parking? And I'm looking at this, I don't know if it's under our jurisdiction or not, but inside I'm seeing there's a space that's 4 foot 5 inches and you've got doors that open. And I'm wondering how accessible the inside would be. And I'm sure that would be under permitting and all that, but just something to bring up.
So, from an ADA accessibility,
Yeah,
correct. So that'll be reviewed with the building official for ADA access to ensure there's accessible routes around and through, as well as the restroom facilities so that there's an accessible pathway through.
great.
Correct,
Thanks.
certainly. Any other questions? Concerns? Going once? Okay, so we'll go ahead and this will go to building permit and I'll keep you updated if there's anything else that needs to come your way regarding this then. Thank you. Okay, so the next item then has to do with Dunning Sand and Stone and their
mhm.
garden center that was recently reviewed and permitted with the commission. So there had been the Troy's rental facility and then there'd been Green Tails, dog grooming facility, and then another, the fence company, fence and shed company. So those are now all taken over with Dunning, and Dunning is replacing the Green Tails sign out front. So this had been the Green Tails sign that had been approved, and they are looking to install Maple Tree Nursery. The posts on the Green Tails has to be redone. The posts apparently have started to rot, so they're not suitable for continuing use. But it's the same height, it's the same area, same location. Everything's the same, except they do have to put new posts in, and it's not just a changing the sign. And then in the spring, Dunning may put a brick veneer faux wall in to just dress it up a bit. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty soon.
So if,
Illumination.
excuse me?
What about illumination?
Illumination is gonna be the same. There's
Okay.
ground mounted, thank you, there's ground mounted lights that are there now. So they don't show very well in that photo. They show here in the old Texas Roadhouse photo. So these exterior lights continue to be there, and those are the same exterior lights. It shows down here at the base. And then it shows, they show here. So those exterior lights, shining up to the sign will remain. So if you agree it's like for like, I'll tell them to go right for building permit.
Yep.
There's nothing else to
Sounds good to me.
look at.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, that is. The only other thing was the note about the April 8th meeting attendance. If I've heard from, I think, Commissioner St. Germain can't make it. I hadn't heard from anybody else indicating that they weren't.
I thought in the email chain, was it Matt?
Yeah, I don't think Matt was.
No, Matt said he wasn't gonna be here tonight.
Oh, I got
I
confused.
confirmed that with him separately.
Oh,
too.
okay.
Yeah, no, Matt was tonight.
Hmm.
So. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we have at least at a minimum quorum, but I'd
Yeah.
prefer 5 to 6 of us in attendance, given that we've just scheduled 2 hearings for that night. So I just wanted to confirm, given that it's spring break week.
I go
So-
anywhere, I'll leave Tuesday.
Okay. All right, nope, that
right.
was it. So I don't have anything else for the
Okay.
commission unless there's other questions for me.
Anybody have anything else for Shannon? Everybody's just excited to be done in 20 minutes.
Right?
I was gonna say.
I think.
I don't know if that's a record.
Like that.
this'll
We had
wait
a
till we're-
couple.
We did last, last July or something, or
Yeah,
June, I think, because I wasn't even here and I logged on and.
There's not
it's
too
like,
many
boom,
short
boom, boom.
yeah, enjoy this one.
Yeah.
All right, can we get that? It's a motion and second to approve the minutes from the February 12th meeting, please.
One more, Patrick?
Sure. why not, right?
You want to go out on one more?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 2024 Town Plan and Zoning Commission meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned, 7:22.